Humanity is the most confusing of beings in this universe. They love, they hate, they laugh, they cry, they work, they play, they live, and they die. I'm done with this universe as a supreme being. Why should I get caught in the whirlwind of their lives when I'm simply beyond? The existentialism of this erroneous, dilapidated, sinful, derelict reality shall go on no more. Perhaps maybe it's time that we alleviate the old and set about a new time, a new universe. No one can stop me. My power is omnipotent and just, but this isn't meant for evil. It's meant for good. Reality alteration and time control will be needed to complete this process. All things shall pass away. Behold, let all things be new. Behold the genesis of a new universe. Let there be light. I give you both the women of this earth. You are king, and she is queen. Be fruitful and multiply. Everything is at your feet. I want a world of love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. But even I knew that in every reality, the existence of good and evil is inevitable. The timelines have been reset. The universes have been reset. Time's existences itself have been reset. Nothing ends. Nothing ever ends. For a new beginning shall become the existential present.
The time has come, my child. My sweet, beautiful princess, who has learned all of our ways, shall be granted further presents.
Mother, I love all gifts. I am ready to take the training of the warriors. I know I am ready, Mother.
Not so fast, Diana. Before you take anything, you must first truly learn our history. In the beginning were the gods of Olympus. They ruled over the face of the earth. The king of the gods, Zeus, was the most powerful of them all. Zeus, king of the gods, created beings and made them in his likeness, good and truthful. But his son Ares, the god of war, became jealous of Zeus's creation and then used his power to corrupt the hearts of mankind. When mankind's hearts were corrupted, Zeus created women to influence men's hearts and revert them back to the good. After 7 years of peace with men, they grew envious of what we as women were able to do alone. So they snapped and a war broke out. I led the women into battle against the men, and we ravaged them, fighting together for our own sense of purpose. When Zeus saw this, War then broke out in the heavens between Zeus and his son Ares. It took almost all of his power to take down the god of war. Even after Ares killed all of the other gods, Ares was then banished to the earth and was never allowed amongst the pantheon ever again. After Ares was cast out, Zeus then used the last of his power and blessed us with a home safely guarded from the evils of the world. Which is Themyscira, a place we call home, and where you will rise to become the greatest of us.
What about the legendary Asteria, Mama?
Asteria is nothing like you, Diana. Let me show you something, Diana. You are special, Diana. One day you will be all that you dream, and you will be a legendary warrior. I sculpted you from clay and lifted you up to Zeus, and he empowered you, gifting you with the powers and the blessings of a demi-goddess. Hold, Diana! Keep on, princess! Diana, you are gifted with godlike abilities that transcend beyond anything you could imagine. You just have to unlock them. Diana, you have proven yourself to us now. You will be given the special weapons of a true Amazon warrior. As an Amazon warrior, you are granted the bracelets of submission, the shield of Haru, the lasso of truth, and the sword of Athena, as well as your god-killer armor that will protect you from all the forces of evil that come your way. Back at home off the coast of Themyscira, I met a man for the first time in my life. A man that turned out to be like no other. His name was Steve, someone who comes from the world of men. He was believed to help me find the god of war, Ares. Steve and I allianced ourselves with many tribes from all of the nations in order to help me get closer to Ares. Ares needed to be stopped because after he was cast out of the pantheon, he continued to reign through the hearts of men and idealized war. Along my journey through the world of men, I evolved, learned new fighting techniques, and understood how the world works beyond my home and embraced it. I warned 1,000 Trojan men not to challenge me, but to surrender, and they chose the harder path. So I laid them all to rest, despite them under the spell of Ares. Until one day Ares made his presence felt in the midst of my final war.
In the beginning of my story was a child who lived a worryless life, full of rainbows and roses, and a formidable paradise that will not ever dare to fall. But as a child, little did I contemplate that was the beautiful lie, that the horrors, the violence, the evils, the maliciousness, and the injustices of this world was reality, that my life, for better or for worse, would be changed forever. instead of the darkness devouring me, it embraced me and lifted me, but most importantly, it inspired me. And now I know what I must do, and where my purpose lies in this world.
It's a crazy world out there, Master Wayne.
Gotham PD are running high-profile investigations.
Good people are living in fear, awaiting their day where the Death Angel takes them away. Good people being murdered in cold blood by the fiendish ones.
Alfred, what are you trying to say? I mean, there's not much we can do to stop these criminals from their malicious crimes.
Bruce, if I may, the past 18 years since your mother's death, all you've done is 3 things. I mean, you've specialized and mastered all scholastic subjects. Your IQ ranges beyond anything the world has ever seen. You're arguably the smartest human being on Earth, Bruce. Secondly, Bruce, you inherited all of your parents' companies and revolutionized them into empires. Wayne Tech, Wayne Industries, and Wayne Enterprises have become billion-dollar companies because of you. And lastly, you've mastered every martial arts skill and fighting style in existence. Aikido, boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Keopira, Eskrima, fencing, Gatka, Hapkido, Jeet Kundo, Judo, Kalarapeatu, Karate, Kenjutsu, Kempo, Kickboxing, Kobudo, Krav Maga, Kyudo, Muay Thai, Ninjutsu, Pankration, Sambo, Savate, Silat, Taekwondo, wrestling, numerous different styles of Wushu Kung Fu, such as Angguazang, Shinan, Hanga, Shenlong Quan, Tai Chi, Wing Chun, and Ya Yan.
Alfred, how can you intricately remember all of the names of my training?
That's not what's important, Master Wayne. What's important is finding out how we can bring justice to those who need it the most. Why do you think you've solved every problem and skill set, mastered every possible outcome of logic? Because Bruce Wayne was destined and chosen to do the impossible. This with you till the end. Now go be the hero that Gotham needs, rather than just sit here and do nothing while the world burns down. An idle mind is the devil's playground.
Call it the Batcave, Alfred.
Ah, that's an interesting one. Why bats, Master Wayne?
I envy bats. No one questions their sanity over their love for the darkness. I also fear bats. Therefore, I can instill that same fear into my enemies.
It's the Commissioner. Good Lord, we've estimated over 2,500 deaths in Gotham City just this past week. We've got to step up our enforcement, or pray that God sends a guardian angel to watch over the city.
For my parents.
Report all units. We woke up and we
We'll never get to see him grow up, or see him smile, or ever hear him say, I love you.
Krypton will see not the wars of what it once was. Therefore our son must live and create a new legacy wherever he goes.
So, we found Earth to be the most sustainable atmosphere in the solar system for him.
Prepare your sport.
Earth's sun shines brighter than the sun of Krypton. Therefore, with the Codex, he will imbibe its radiation, making him a godlike super being amongst the human race. What Kryptonians cannot be on Krypton due to a less dense sun, he will be able to accomplish anomalies, wonders, and impossibilities on Earth.
Lara, what shall we name him?
Kal-El.
I have the Codex, Lara.
Use it. Let its power run through his veins.
Let the powers of the world rest in the hands of the people, and the powers that be unto us. The foundations of Krypton will rise to the stars, only in the name of the people!
Goodbye, my son. Let our hopes and dreams live in you.
So, General Zod's group is imminently approaching the Citadel.
Prepare my armor.
General, the elves have stolen the Codex from the Genesis chamber.
Raid that citadel.
Sure. Zod and his group. They're here.
Our Codex is all we have for the future of our world. Prioritize and assume that Codex by any means necessary.
Lara, begin the process. Send the board to the planet Earth.
Jor-El, my friend. Give me the Codex, and I won't have to take further action.
We have started a new legacy for Krypton. One that will not follow your traditions, Sword.
What have you done? What do you speak of?
Lara and I have had a child. A son. The first natural birth in centuries, Sword. And he will be free from the confinements of this world, Sword. And there's nothing you can do about it.
You will die now! Kryptonians, destroy it now!
Our son will not be subjected to the ways of Krypton.
Then you are fools!
No, we are heroes of Krypton. Something you once were.
Lara, where are you sending the child?
Far beyond your touch, safe within the stars.
Or he will then be burdened and pressured by the evil that resides within the stars.
My son will be twice the man you once were, and 4 times the man you've become. Now, Lara! Krypton is doomed now!
Goodbye, my son. Bring me the god of war.
At last, my dear, after centuries, we finally meet.
You are exactly who they say you are. And more.
I am not the god of war, I am the god of truth, and the truth is that mankind is flawed, blemished, hateful, poisonous, and shall be destroyed.
No, you're wrong about them. They're everything you have spoken, but they can be so much more. I cannot partake in that cup, for you have bare bad fruits, the fruits of evil, and I was taught fruits for good.
Diana, if you will not help me destroy them, then you will join them in extinction. Diana, if you our rule. Sadly, my child, you are blinded, and now you along with the rest will have to be ruled by me like a wildfire. Yes, Diana! You'll protect you! Fight me like the Amazon warrior and goddess your Amazonian sisters have prepared you for! Is that all you have to offer? You don't deserve mankind, you don't deserve to be the princess of the Amazons. That is why, when I am finished with you, I will find the Mastera and I will crush you, your mother along with your sisters. Mankind exists, there will always be war.
War does not answer war. War does not finish war. The only ending is peace.
And peace is what I want as one.
Goodbye, brother.
After I destroyed Ares and saved the world, I realized that I may never return to Themyscira, my home, ever again. But as a full-grown woman, I now realized why my mothers and sisters trained me harder than any other Amazonian in Themyscira. And it's because she knew how powerful I'd become, but she also knew that with great power comes great responsibility. So now I will take it upon myself. If no one else will defend the world, then I must.
I know, Master Wayne, it's hard to live in a world without them too. But you cannot allow the fever, the rage, the hate for what happened to turn a good man cruel.
I just can't ever forgive myself, Alfred. That's all.
In order to heal, we must first forgive. And sometimes that person is ourselves.
All of those times and opportunities to end that clown's life, but chose not to, is the reason they're dead.
I remember differently. Years ago, when you legally adopted and raised your son, Dick Grayson, you became the parents that not only he lost, but you lost as well. You transformed that boy into vengeance, something both of you were fueled by. You became the very thing you become, but the only difference is that he did it to please you, so that you may recognize him. He did it in your name. He wanted to be just like you, so he became a caped crusader. He swore to help inflict fear into criminals and fight at the right hand of
Batman.
But the love of your life, Master Wayne, well, we still don't know if she's alive or dead.
When I met Selena, she was a thief, a burglar, a criminal. But the one thing we both saw in each other was the willingness to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Other than her unpredictable beauty, that's what ultimately brought us together. That's why we fought to fight crime, side by side.
We've got to get out of here. Yeah.
greatest enemy, the Joker. There was something demonic about that clown prince of crime. Out of all our enemies we've had in Gotham, Alfred, it was like a mental war more than a physical war. It was personal. But Slade Wilson, also known as the Deathstroke, came onto the scene. I believe he was hired by the Joker to help take me down because he believes that I'm the fault for the death of his son. But I believe Deathstroke was a distraction from what the Joker's true intent was. While I was against Deathstroke, I sent Robin on one of his most important missions ever, to watch and protect the manor.
Robin, give me a synopsis of what the manor looks like. Any signs or clues of a break-in?
Dad, Joker and all his goons are here surrounding me. Dad, I need you, please. And it finally came to my consensus that this was all a setup by the Joker. I had to get Slade out the way. All I could think of was my son, my love. That's what fueled me to be one of the most dangerous mercenaries on Earth.
That's likely. It's time to find him and to your match.
When I knew of Robin's endangerment, I did have some hope. And that hope was because he was my son. And I knew he could handle almost anything. That was the single biggest mistake of my life. Sending him on a mission that he wasn't ready for. And he paid for it about 100 times harder than I did, even until this day.
The Joker wouldn't agree with you. He doesn't put a great place right through him. The Joker is using you. Perhaps his son is already there. Kill me with that clown! I'll make your head for my son! Sir, don't stabilize until authorities get here. Sir, I get a taste of the bat's out of hell.
Dad finds out the sun is burning. He's gonna get me.
Don't worry, Boy Wonder. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
You'll never live.
What do we do next? Who's it? Bruce Wayne.
Sad news today in Gotham City. 16-year-old Dick Grayson, adopted son of Bruce Wayne, dead today in a Wayne Manor explosion.
When I realized I had to bury my son in the grave, the ultimate darkness flooded over me like a tsunami from the seas. All of my greatest fears, the nightmares, the horrors, and the rage ascended to triumph. But the rage, the power, and the evil bottled up inside me, I used to become the judge, the jury, and the executioner. I began studying the psychology of fear, the idea that fear is a tool, how to inflict so much fear into a criminal that they will never want to see the light of day or the darkness in the night. But I only had one purpose.
Breaking news. The criminal known as the Joker is the single most wanted and most dangerous criminal and serial killer in the world.
The Batman.
Consider me your best friend when I come and I visit you while you rot in the asylum for the rest of your days. And the only way you'll be able to tell if it's day or night is whenever I visit.
Hey, Dad's name. We got the Joker.
Caught the Joker. Batman caught the Joker. He's the guardian of this city, protector of our streets. He's the real hero. He's the Batman.
is that? Follow my voice. Cal, I'm the voice in your head. Your guide and assistance throughout this world. Who are you? I am your father, Cal. I have so many questions to ask. I have so many answers to give. You're my son. I just wish your mother could see you. Why did you send me here? Where do I come from? You were born on Krypton, which makes you Kryptonian.
Miss Lane, are you sure you want to go in there?
I'll be fine alone. Thanks. There you are.
It's beautiful. Every child on Krypton was designed to fulfill a purpose, not fit to what they desire, but to the desires of Krypton. Which is where Zod and I disagreed. So your mother and I can see the child because we thought that every child has the right to become something greater than what society intended it for. So we sent you somewhere where you can embody the best of both worlds. You can be the hope that this world needs. You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
Lowest lane of the daily planet. Follow me.
Oh, okay.
You may have to live every sun and moon knowing that what you do could mean life or death in which you love the most. So this is my purpose. Rise, son, from this world. Defy gravity. Fly. Use your powers. Become forceful good, not evil. Become the bridge between two peoples. Embody the best of both worlds. And become the protector of humanity. Give the world what it truly needs. And that is the presence of a superhero.
Breaking news, a super being dressed in red and blue, sailing a school bus full of kids today.
I am not a threat. I am here to help. If you do not trust me, you may take me in.
He's not our enemy.
I need now report, Lois. Report! Miss Lane, I heard you were reporting.
Mr. Kent, I heard you weren't from here. Please, call me Lois.
Lois, can I take you out to dinner sometime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Prepare the planetary message.
I had a fantastic time, Clark.
What's happening? Guys? What's that?
Now,
It's crazy out there.
Sir, we have a possible invasion.
What in God's name is that in our atmosphere?
You're not alone. I am General Zod. I come from a planet far across the stars. I am looking for one of mine from my world, but he has kept his existence hidden from us all. Turn him into us for purposes of the unknown. He will blend in with you, look like you, sound like you, but he is not like you. To all who know of his existence, the fate of this beautiful Earth is in your hands.
General Swanwick? It looks like we have a real lunar synchronous threat impending among us.
initiate all military branches, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force for war.
The AF's primary squad unit is in pursuit right now.
I'm going to ask you once. Drop your weapons.
Drop yours first, while you're on my planet.
Greetings, General. I am Conductor North. General Zord would like to meet you.
What makes you think I trust him?
I informed the General that you proceed to reject his orders.
You can tell him to leave.
It wasn't a question, General. Your crews will be coming with us, alive or dead. We may attack during.
General, command your forces to fall back. This is a fight. Still means. be the one they call Zod, the one who murdered my father. Scouts should have educated you, but in education, you led us here, Cap. Learned that Krypton lived under a false jurisdiction, a one worldism or a cosmocracy, the concept of a single political authority for all humanity. And that is something that my father could not be a part of, nor allow, especially when the planet had already died.
How dare you shut the planet to a bar?
My parents knew what they were doing when they sent me far beyond your reach. He knew that Krypton was already saved when I was born.
Have you lost your mind, Kal-El? I know that the Codex runs through your bloodstream, Cal. So I'm going to give you a choice. Sacrifice yourself, and I'll let her along with your planet live. But if you refuse, I will harvest it from your skull and rebuild Krypton on top of your bones. Let her go! Choose wisely, son.
Breaking news, UFO spotted over Metropolis downtown area.
Zod, what happens to Earth as a result of the reconfiguration of Krypton?
Any foundation must be built on fresh and new soil.
No, Zod, you're wrong. I cannot let that happen. Not to these people.
Stop. And you have sealed the fate of this world.
Breaking news today, we are witnessing possibly the end of Metropolis as a new ecliptic spaceship or UFO initiates some sort of energy beam attack on our skyscrapers.
Okay now.
I have to stop.
I need you.
Go, Lois.
Breaking news, multiple military jets knocked out of the sky by some sort of man leaping from skyscrapers, leaving millions in damage behind in Metropolis today.
We need to investigate this now.
Stop! Destroy the ship! Destroy any hope left of restoring Krypton!
No! Krypton has passed away. Earth is worth saving now.
And you are not one of us!
No, I am the Krypton purifier.
Breaking news, the UFO has exploded and has discontinued its collateral damage.
Thank you, Superman.
The prophecy of the last son of Krypton.
Mr. Victor, what a terrible day it is.
There are gods among us.
Between every two arms, there's a doorway to a new and better world. We could have created a new Krypton in the star system, but you chose the humans over your own kind.
My existence is to serve Krypton, no matter the costs, the stakes, or the circumstances. And this will now